Next, we have an appointment of David Chenevert, and I apologize if I pronounced the last name incorrectly. Vice Ronald P. O'Hanley to the Rhode Island Commerce Corporation for a term expiring February 1st, 2025. And is the nominee with us?
Yes.
Yes, welcome. And please tell me how to pronounce your name properly. I'm sorry if I did it wrong.
You did it perfectly. That was a very good French version of it, and I was going to comment at you on that. It was very, very good.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Well, welcome to the committee, and if you'd like to address us and maybe share with us why you would like to be on the Rhode Island Commerce Corporation.
First, I'd like to thank the Governor Rundle for extending the opportunity for this nomination, and also thank all of you for taking this time on a late Friday to listen to what we're all about and trying to help the state as a whole. I guess I'll just start off a little bit about my background. I've been married about 45 years. I have a son and a daughter, and I have 2 lovely grandsons. My passion is manufacturing. I have been in manufacturing since I was 18 years old. I started out working the 3rd shift, and I then started my own company in 1985. When I took over, bought the company, I had 3 employees, and sales was $190,000 a year. When I sold it, we had 70 CNC machines, and we were a multi-million operation by that time. My son currently is the president of the company. He is running it. While I was doing that, I also served on the Cumberland Town Council for 10 years and 4 years as a council president. It was an enjoyable experience. I then got involved with the Rhode Island Manufacturers Association for about 5 to 6 years. And in 2017, I was asked to take on the executive director's position. And I took that on, and it's been a great, what I call chapter 2 of my life. Sort of like retirement, but not yet retirement, and I've enjoyed helping a lot of the manufacturers, using my knowledge and experience to work with them and keep them out of the potholes that can affect you when you're running your business. I guess the biggest challenge that I faced was the COVID-19 that started back in March of 2020. And collectively working with the governor's office and Commerce Secretary Pryor, we were able to keep the manufacturing sector open and running. It has not slowed down whatsoever. We instituted programs from RIMA that would keep their employees safe. Our employees in the manufacturing world are the most important asset we have. And we instituted many programs. We did the pledge. We instituted the rapid testing. We were the first test site to get that started up and going. And that was pretty interesting to see that all come together. We also been working, myself, I've been started up a training organization called We Make Rhode Island to assist the manufacturing sector prior to when Real Jobs started. We were doing this before it even came with Breast. But we've embraced Real Jobs. It's one of the most important things that the manufacturers feel is necessary for their training ground. So we've been doing a lot working with the Department of Labor Training on Real Jobs. In addition to that, I've been involved working closely with Commerce and on various legislation to help the manufacturers, but also the small business community and the business community in general, dealing on innovation grants of that nature. In addition to that, I worked with Representative Ruggiero out of the House, and we were the first business sector to come forward with a sustainability piece of legislation that the manufacturers all embraced. So we're working on that, and we still have a long way to go, but at least we got it started, and I think it's important for the manufacturing sector to see how important that is, for not just for us, but for our grandkids in the future. I've been fortunate to develop a good working relationship with the Senate and the House on various legislation that affects the manufacturers, but also the business community as a general. I've had engagement with the Department of Business Regulations, the Department of Labor and Training, and Commerce over these past 4 years as RIMA's Executive Director. For various issues such as Real Jobs and programs that support the manufacturers is where we put our emphasis on. We try to be part of a solution. We're not here to stymie anything. and we try to get out there and be proactive as far as what our organization is about. One of the things about manufacturers in the state of Rhode Island, they are predominantly people who live in Rhode Island. We have our children here, and we raise them, and our grandchildren are here. So we are very attuned to seeing the Rhode Island economy grow as much as possible. Like I said, my background is manufacturing, and I've been in business most of my life, running my own company, so I can understand the tribulations of trying to start a new endeavor, or where you want to take your business to. So that's a quick synopsis. I don't have quite the same resume as former Senator Revens, but hopefully you got a flavor for what I'm about.
Thank you very much. And you do have quite a resume, and thank you for all that you've been doing for Rhode Island and for manufacturing and promoting so many jobs in the state over the years. I think that's, sometimes we don't know enough about manufacturing in the state of Rhode Island, and you've been doing your due diligence, keeping businesses running, keeping people employed, and also working with the General Assembly. So that's, I thank you for that. And we have received several letters from different manufacturers, people in government, past legislators as well, endorsing your appointment. So I think you're going to do a great job for commerce. Bringing someone who has your type of background, I think is going to be extremely helpful as we move forward and out of COVID. And I guess the only question I would have, and you probably have a wealth of ideas, how can we move forward? How can Rhode Island move forward out of COVID and help generate more jobs and build a robust economy? I know that's a big question, but...
Well, one of the things I said to Governor Raimondo back in March of 2020 when she met with the RIMA board and what we call the RIMA Advisory Council, which is made up of all the large manufacturers in the state. I said to her back in March of 2020 that the silver lining of this COVID-19 is going to be called reshoring. We are seeing so many U.S.-based companies streamlining and wanting to bring in their supply chain. Now, right now, maybe it's 10% in the U.S. and 90% being done overseas in certain areas. I see that model changing. I see it going maybe 20-80, 30-70, who knows, maybe 40-60. Right now, I'm part of a committee, a reshoring team, working with Commerce, Mark Murphy out of Bryant University, and also with Polaris MEP. So we're trying to do that, and I think that's going to help Rhode Island. We're a small state, and we're nimble, and we can respond quicker than most states can do on certain issues and helping companies. So I think the reshoring is going to be kind of important. The fact that we were able to keep manufacturing open this whole time, most of them maybe got hit with about a 10-15% hit on their annual sales. Some got worse depending on what sector they're in. For example, one was in the automotive industry. Well, they lost about 52% of their sales. Another was doing a lot of work with Boeing, and the MAX plane was not flying too well. So they got hurt pretty bad. But overall, the manufacturing sector is still growing. What I see nationwide is manufacturing taking the lead, and I see where President Biden is pushing forward the reshoring aspect and also promoting manufacturing as one of our major fortes. The Governor Raimondo herself, when she was elected, noted about her family's background in manufacturing, and I think she's going to take the steps that we did here for manufacturing in Rhode Island to DC, and we're going to see maybe possibly that implemented nationwide. So I see a great future relative to the manufacturing. I think we need to keep real jobs. I've been a promoter of that for many years. A lot of people in my age group, they're getting ready to retire. We did a survey about last year or year before, and over 35% of most of the manufacturers had people going to be totally retired in the next 5 years. So we need to fill that pipeline. We also were very instrumental in getting $3.5 million. I thank the Senate and the House for agreeing to that. We upgraded Davis Vocational and developed their advanced manufacturing facility. And we got great young students coming out of there. We've got a program at CCRI and New England Institute for Technology. Again, that's something that's very important. And I'm fortunate to be involved with the Davies Vocational Board. I'm on their board, and I'm also a part of the CTE board. So training and youth and getting them involved in manufacturing, and hopefully it can extend my passion for manufacturing into their lives. So I really believe we are going to be in good shape. I think the whole manufacturing sector in Rhode Island will be back going strong by the fourth quarter.
Boy, I really enjoy your optimism. Thank you for that. I think we all need to hear that type of optimism, and I think you make me feel better about the future. So thank you for that. Are there any questions from committee members? Yes, Senator Mack.
Hi, and thank you. I'm going to go for Dave because I will not pronounce the version of your last name. But I had a couple of questions. The first one is Rhode Island was one of the slowest states to recover after the 2008 recession. What are some lessons learned from that recovery process that you think we should implement as we recover from COVID-19 in the upcoming years?
Well, I think Real Jobs is one of them. We had with Real Jobs right now, we have a system where we can get people trained quickly and turned around. Back in when that recession hit, and I had to be the worst time in my life in the business community, and all the time I've owned my own company for 31 years. There was not a lot of programs in place. We had to scurry individually. There was not any grant programs. There was very little going on. So the actions that we've taken through Commerce and the governor's efforts and the Senate and the House to help support the business community, manufacturing in particular, is great. And that's where the Real Jobs program has been so beneficial. It's been a tool that we learned that we need out of that particular recession.
Awesome, thank you. And I have two more questions. You mentioned your commitment to building a sustainable and future for Rhode Island jobs. Are you also committed to making sure that Rhode Island's investing in green jobs, green fair-paying jobs?
Well, I understand that Orsted has been pretty interested in doing just what you're talking about, because there's going to be a lot of work out there if they continue to move forward. I do believe that when the agreement was signed between Commerce and Orsted, they actually put in the agreement that the Rhode Island Manufacturers Association had to be part of supplying the companies that would be needed to help that expand that. So where that is at, that's out of my hands, but we're available for discussions with the Commerce Department relative to that particular case. I agree. I think no rock not turned over is not going to gain the sun. So we keep kicking around and see what other jobs are available. I look at the market that we're in, even in the manufacturing, we are constantly evolving. We've gone from where my first machine was a very simple machine to my last acquisition was a $500,000 piece of equipment. What had a built-in laser, and it was a 12-axis machine, which you're going to say, well, I don't know what a 12-axis is, and that's okay, but we can make very complex parts. So we have advanced, and the key is to get our people trained and to be able to learn how to advance in this new technology. We're never going to go back up to where we had 50 or 60,000 people in manufacturing. We're hovering around 40,000, and that's a fair number, because we now have changed. We're more of an advanced technical operation and sector. And that's where the jobs are, and that's where the good paying jobs are. So what I'm going to be doing eventually with the Senate and the House, when I meet with the Senate President Ruggiero and the Majority Leader McCaffrey, we need to work on the transportation issues of the state of Rhode Island so that we can get these people who are like in Pawtucket, Central Falls, or Woonsocket that want to get a job and are in Quonset. How do we get them there? They don't have a car. And yet we want to get people jobs. So we need to tackle that together. And we just had our first meeting about 2 weeks ago with Scott Aviation. I had Scott Jensen, Matt Weldon, I had Make Rhode Island, I had 3 manufacturers, and we talked about this particular issue. We need to connect the dots between a person who wants a job and how do we get them there. And that's where we're talking about right now. They can advertise jobs all they want on the DLT site, and that's wonderful, but they don't tell you how far away the bus stop is. So if you're going to apply for it and the bus stop is 2.5 miles away, I don't think they're mailmen. They're not going to go through rain, sleet, and snow. We got to do a better job of getting transportation. So you want to talk about boosting our economy and getting people more jobs? We got to tackle that issue on transportation.
Great. And one last question. I share your same sentiments on transportation. I myself am really into trains and buses and hope that in the near future more and more Rhode Islanders are taking public transportation. My last question is, you mentioned including and working on increasing the diversity and inclusiveness of these manufacturing jobs. What work or what intentional work have you done or do you anticipate doing to make sure that these manufacturing jobs are representing all Rhode Islanders, including Black, Brown, formerly low income, and Indigenous Rhode Islanders?
I think we got to utilize real jobs, and I think we need to educate people that there are good paying positions. And I'll be honest with you, when I interviewed people that came to my facility, I don't care who they were, what they were, it had no bearing on me. And as long as they had the work ethic and the desire to learn, and I always ask the same question to every single person that came into my facility. If you're here looking for a job, you got the wrong place. But if you're here looking for a career, then we're going to help you and we'll get you a career. And that's been my motto from day one, and I don't care who it is. We will work with them and try to get them more exposed to the manufacturing sector where the good paying jobs are.
Sorry, I lied. I have one more question as a follow-up.
Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
You just mentioned that you will work with anyone, but specifically in the Black and Brown community and low income and Indigenous community, there are specific barriers that are in place that prevent them from seeking jobs in the manufacturing sector. What specifically will you do to encourage individuals, young people who are in the Black, Brown, Indigenous community who have been historically locked out from these positions to encourage growth of increasing minorities in manufacturing jobs?
I'm on the Government Workforce Board, and on several occasions I have gone to different, we used to call them unemployment centers. I don't remember the name right now, but and I have gone in and I have talked to a bunch of people in different areas who are interested in learning about the manufacturing. The best way is to do that, and I've done it numerous times. We need to get them exposed to it. That's the biggest thing. And they got to understand what these jobs entail. And our education system needs to step it up relative to that, because it's not the old days of where manufacturing was. Today, it's very advanced. So we need to make sure that the math is being taught and they're understanding it, and we get good graduates coming out of those schools.
Great. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Senator Mack. Are there any other questions from committee members? Yes, Senator Mendes.
Thank you for your time, Dave. I apologize that I will also not attempt your last name, but the chairwoman did an amazing job and I don't want to take from that. So thank you for this time. I do have a few questions as well. Just a little bit on your background. I know you referenced a lot of about your manufacturing background and promoting jobs and providing jobs. I'm very curious if those were union jobs and how you've helped to provide that, or what your relationship is with that. Were those jobs union jobs?
No, as far as I know, whether they were union jobs or not, if some of the companies are union facilities, they may hire some people to go into their facilities, but I don't look at training or an individual to get them a union job. That is not my responsibility. I want to get them exposed to what the benefits are of getting into manufacturing, what those jobs offer as far as benefits, and what they offer pay scale. But I have never really looked at it from a union position.
So not specifically trying to promote union jobs, just jobs in general?
No, that's not my job. That's not my role to do.
Okay. And then I have another follow-up question. Just on, right now, particularly in manufacturing, but a lot of fields, people struggle with the workplace and access to PPE and et cetera. And although a lot of businesses are doing the best they can, it is quite difficult. Should companies be held liable if their employees get COVID?
We have supported since last June or July in 2020, we wanted a liability insurance program for the manufacturers. No, I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. And another question I have is, the CRMC is one of the few agencies that has the power to slow down environmentally harmful decisions. As I had mentioned previously, the climate crisis that we are in is neither accidental nor new. This council has made previous decisions to give National Grid a facility in the Port of Providence that has detrimental impacts on people. And so I'm just curious about your stance on utilizing the CRMC to prevent these types of acts and what you intend to do in this role, particularly knowing that National Grid will not seek people's health and not seek climate justice, but actively seek to place their harmful facilities close to vulnerable populations. What is your stance on that, and what do you intend to do about it?
I would say you have to take every proposal that's going to come in front of that committee on its own merits and where it is, what its impact is, and I'm sure we would have to study that and find out. That is not an area that I could possibly give you a straight answer on.
Okay. Are you aware of the impact on the Port of Providence now due to National Grid's methane gas?
I have read about it. It was not something that was my concern with as far as manufacturing goes. We were not looking at that. That was in the realm of someone else to handle. That was not, we weren't called in, we weren't asked, and I did not get involved with that.
Okay. Would you speak to frontline communities, and would you be willing in this role to have an open dialogue with frontline communities, including the People's Port Authority?
If it was relative to manufacturing, yes.
Okay. And yeah, I'm just curious about, in the past, I did like your very hopeful, kind of vision for things, but I am very curious about your past, if you can specifically mention where you have championed or kind of pushed back on fossil fuel infrastructure.
Right now, the only thing I can offer to you is the fact that we, as manufacturers, are always looking for an alternative method to get our energy to our facilities. We are not engineers in that field, and we rely on the experts to give us the suggestions that are necessary to do that. There isn't a manufacturer I know that does not want to do something to improve our environment that we live in.
Thank you, David, for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Senator Mendez. Any other committee members? Any questions for this appointment? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to grant advice and consent to Dave. I don't know if I can do the name twice. Do it well. Chenevert.
You did, that was great.
Oh, to the Rhode Island. Thank you. Oh, we had a.
Elaine Morgan, second.
Okay, and who made the motion? Senator
Dominic Ruggiero.
Okay, President Ruggiero moves the nomination, and Senator Morgan seconded it,
And Senator Pickard as well.
and Senator Picard as well. All those in favor? We'll have a roll call.
Aye.
Yeah, I think you need a,
We need to have a roll call.
Senator Anderson,
Yes.
Senator Gallo,
Yes.
Senator Coleman,
Yes.
Senator Lombardo,
yes.
Senator Mack,
No.
Senator Mendez,
No.
Senator Morgan,
Yes.
Senator Picard,
Yes.
Senator Sosnowski,
Yes.
Senator Goodwin,
Yes.
Senator McCaffrey,
Yes.
Senate President Ruggiero.
Yes.
We have 10 in the affirmative, 2 in the negative.
So the appointment will move forward. Congratulations, and we will recommend the full Senate grant advice and consent. And good luck to you, and thank you for all you're doing for the state of Rhode Island. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.